Greetings, community. It's Kevin of NCBD and Comics, and I'm here to bring you another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads for 10/26/22. Happy New Comic Book Day, everybody! So here we go. Now check this out. There is a list. There is a lot of books, and not only is there a lot of books, which I mean, about a dozen. These are some really good reads. These books I really been anticipating for a while. So without actually, totally milking this cow that's been dehydrated for quite for some time, I want to go ahead and recognize an individual that is just always here. Thank you, Las Cruces. Dude, you the man. I appreciate you. And for everyone that texts us out on the rewind, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys too. Without you, I mean, what would I be doing this for, right? So check this out. Let's go ahead and move right ahead with Marvel. Now, Marvel, they're coming out with some books that I've been really anticipating for a while. This in particular read that I'm about to make mention was a crossover, and it was something that I really was anticipating because I like the idea of a Black Cat becoming an Iron Cat. So yes, Iron Cat issue number 5. And this finishes out the series, and this series has been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying this, digging up some old characters, allowing Felicia to go ahead and get a hold of another suit. Tony working with her. It's been really interesting to see what happens. Also, in some regards, it's I guess it's a fair warning against AI in some way of its own form. So hey, this has been a really fun read, and I look forward to finishing it off with issue number 5 of Iron Cat. Moving over from there, we go to Strange. Now, Strange issue number 7. This is where we're going to end up seeing some battles going on, and I guess we're going to see this dark version of Doctor Strange again. And I think there's going to be some pretty big battle happening in this one. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this leads into actually. I'm waiting for Doctor Strange to come back. I mean, we all know he is going to. I'm just curious of how they're going to do it and what this is all leading towards. I really been enjoying this series. Without him, I just been waiting for something that's leading to his resurrection, I guess. Moving over from Strange issue number 7, we get over to Venom 12. I guess Venom issue number 25, 26, and 27. A lot of people spent a lot of money, and a lot of people was hoping that this character that was introduced, Codex, was going to be more than what it was, meaning just an alternate universe character of Dylan. Well, I think we all now know and understand, and spoiler if you don't, this is the 7th Venom. This is that. So I'm now curious that they're introducing this character, Codex, into the main Marvel Universe 616. How this works in. This has been cool. I think also what happened in Thor issue 28 plays a factor in all this down the road. So I'm curious on how this is all transpiring. That's why Venom issue number 12 is one of my most anticipated reads for tomorrow. Excuse me. Moving on from there, I'm going to cruise over to Strange Academy Finals, issue number 1. I've been a huge Strange Academy fan ever since I got to speak with Scotty Young about this about, I don't know, must have been 6 or 7 months, something like that, before the actual release. How these characters were going to be integrated into the Marvel Universe and how they're going to play a part, how this whole Magic Skull was going to come about, how this seemingly oversight of not having enough individuals. I thought enough teams could be made out of magic individuals. That, I don't know, it just seemed like this was an inevitable thing. The fact that Strange Academy has become such a big hit. We're seeing individuals splinter off, doing things like in the Midnight Suns, and integrating themselves, other characters from Strange Academy, into the main Marvel Universe, which is really cool. It's something that I've been looking forward to, and I'm having a lot of fun with, because it's offering a larger dynamic than just mutants into the universe, which has always been there. We're just seeing a huge dynamics of symbiotes, mutants, magicians, all that. Again, just I guess overflowing, and I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I am a huge Magic fan, so when it comes to the Strange Academy stuff, I was always on board. Moving over from Strange Academy, cruise over out into the DC universe. Now over in DC, I'm a massive Punchline fan. Actually, I like a lot of the female characters in all these universes. Anyways, Punchline has always been one of my favorites. She to me plays a very, I guess, methodical character, one that has a lot of thought in what she's doing. I like that. You know, that more points to, I guess, some of the true enjoyment, true passion that people have towards Joker. I think that's what they kind of wrote into Punchline, and I enjoy that. It's a very twisted, methodical individual that is now, in the case of Punchline, out of prison, and she's out to get revenge. So I'm looking forward to this. I think it's a 6-issue miniseries coming out of DC. Moving over from DC, we go to Image. Image is throwing out Creep Show. I know it's at least a 3-issue mini. What I've been digging about it is it's the classic setup that we all love and enjoy from the show that we used to watch. We do have a host. We are treated to some pretty wild tales, and that's what we all enjoy about Creep Show. So that's why it is one of my most anticipated reads tomorrow. Moving on for Creep Show, we go over to Firepower. This has been a very consistent write. And as far as I'm concerned, one of my most anticipated monthly reads out of Image. I've been digging this story. What transpired in issue number 23 just blew my mind. And yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of issues left in this thing. I couldn't imagine, even though we have seen some significant things and there is some more story to tell. I just have a feeling that it's wrapping up soon. That being said, I am very much enjoying every month and every read that I've been getting out of Image from this Firepower series. Cruising out from Firepower, we move over to the Boom Studios and we get Damn Them All. Now, this is if I get this story right, please, don't hold this against me if I'm way off, but I do anticipate this read. If I recall, this is a story about there's a bunch of demons that have to be basically corralled up and dragged back down the hell. So it's a story of basically just that, and I'm in on these type of hell creatures let loose, and someone has to go get them for bounties and things like that, or however this works out. I dig things like that. It's just kind of cool. Hell Cop was a really fun series for me because it kind of played on those kind of things, and I dig things like that. So moving out from Damn Them All, issue number 1 from Boom Studios, we're going to cruise over to Stuff of Nightmares, issue number 2. This is a Reanimator series thrown in a comic book form. I've been enjoying this because it gives a little twist, a little feel on what it would be like to go ahead and see it done slightly different in this comic form. I've been really enjoying this interpretation, though only one issue has come out at this point. So that's why I really like the setup of the first issue and what it leads into. So that's why issue number 2 is one of my most anticipated reads for tomorrow. Moving on from Boom, from the Stuff of Nightmares issue number 2, we're going to cruise over to Opus. Opus is releasing another new title. They're killing me because I've been digging all this stuff. Eternal Descent, issue number 1. This looks interesting. I do like the risque stuff. I think that's what they're kind of heading towards in this book. It's a demon book. I don't want to give too much away. I only read a couple of pages and then I stopped. I didn't even really want to know too much about it. So I liked what I saw as far as art. The lettering seemed cool, especially for my older eyes. The lines seemed really cool. The backdrops were awesome. I'm really looking forward to see what they're coming out with this Eternal Descent issue number 1 out of Opus. Moving from the Eternal Descent issue number 1, we get over to another band book out of Opus that I've been looking forward to. This is a 3-issue mini, and this band is entitled Halloween. This is a power metal band out of the 80s that I used to listen to. The drummer was one of my inspirations of my own style that I incorporated. He has a very enduring double bass kick, and it just I've been looking forward to this book because in the Keeper of the Seven Keys album that Halloween ended up doing, they went in a direction of very Middle Earthy kind of stuff, and I really dug it. The vocalist was different. The lyrical content was considerably different than anything they ever did before, and it was very imaginative. So I'm curious to see what they end up doing in this 3-issue mini with this band stuff because they have some pretty good material that could transpire into some very good stories. Cruising out from Opus, issue number 1 of Halloween, of a 3-issue mini, we cruise over to now, okay, we're really heading over to the zones of this stuff was very difficult for me to figure out which one of these was going to be my blue light special. So again, this one was hard to decide. This one almost made my blue light. So Ball, they're completing their second main arc of Barbaric. All right, so Barbaric issue number 3 comes out. This completes the second arc of this series. This is an awesome story. If you haven't been reading Barbaric, if you're interested into a Sumerian style story of a cursed individual that's damned to carry an axe to do as it tells him to, and basically takes out the wrong people for the right reasons, more times than not, and this axe actually speaks to this barbaric individual, not only to tell him what to do, but it's bloodthirsty. The axe actually feeds off the blood of its enemies. It's such a cool story. It's visceral, it's bloody, it's gory, it's witty. There's times when I'm laughing out loud. There's times when I'm cringing. It's great. It's a very enjoyable read. It takes me away from most reads that tend to be too intense or just ask too much of me as far as my intention. There's nothing there that's going to change your life. At the same point, there's everything there. It's going to make you appreciate it. So Barbaric issue number 3 is definitely up there on one of my favorite reads for tomorrow. Moving over from there, we're going to go to Dark Horse. Now, Dark Horse has a book coming out called Dead Mall. If I recall, it's a group of kids cruising in there, and I think their only thing that they initially want to do is to stay at night. That goes wrong. As it turns into a very horrific experience for these kids. We get to journey with them on that tale. So I am looking forward to Dead Mall because this, out of Dark Horse, you know what to pretty much expect. I can't remember the writer offhand. I was trying to remember, but it did look like it was going to be really interesting. Moving on from there, we're going to cruise over to Keenspot. Now, Keenspot, this is a story that I'm looking forward for a while. It seems cute, funny, witty, and very, in its own way, very just like, how can they go there? So the story is basically about a kid that just wants to kind of be left alone. Let him collect his organs from strangers, and he's fine. Turns into a little bit of a bloody mess, but everybody has to have a hobby, right? So this kid, if I recall, likes to collect, I think it's kidneys or livers or something like that, and wear a hockey mask. So the name of the series is called Chopping Block from Keenspot. Issue number 1 coming out this 10/26/22. Now, moving out from there, we're going to cruise over to, God, I've been jumping around because I wasn't certain exactly which ones are going to be my blue light special. And I don't want to miss anything. So I want to make sure that I caught everything. And I believe I may have. Now, between these two, this was considerably difficult to make my blue light special. So what I'm going to do is consider them my blue light specials. And what I mean by that is my first time ever, I'm throwing 2 books out there at the same time. My blue light specials for 10/26/22 is First from a Blaze, Boogeyman issue number 2. This was fun. That first issue setup, that was cool. that there's multiple boogeymen out there, that they make their claim. They have their organization. They have their own little mini laws, what they have to follow, the guidelines, all that. They seem cool. Um, how these set of boogeymen introduced themselves to the mother and father of our protagonist was damn. And the fact that a boogeyman decided to go ahead and take this kid under his wing, I thought was pretty interesting, being that initially we get the impression this boogeyman was taunting this child. So yeah, this is cool. So this was a hard one to make. So Boogeyman was my second on the list, but still making my blue light special. However, my blue light special for 10/26/22 is back over to Image, Vanish, issue number 2. Wow, issue number 1 was really good. Donny Cates, I think with us fans, we both love and hate this guy. The reason why is he knows how to write. But for those of us that tend to buy everything that he does, tend to see that there is a pattern of what he does. And I think that's one of the reasons why we buy his stuff. Like me, I tend to enjoy the pattern. The pattern is like issue number 1, it was a great setup to a great story. It tends to carry out. Sometimes it does fall flat. And that's where we get a little pissed, especially if you're a spec person. You think every book that he ends up doing or writing is just going to be this $1 million maker. It's not necessarily the case. If we just read the books for what they are, I think we appreciate it more. Getting back to the whole blue light special thing. Yeah, Vanish issue number 2. The fact that it's a story of a person that was once considered a hero for something that was basically defiance, using otherworldly technology to take out present world threats and an outer world situation, and then coming back to his home world, who he didn't really know, and kind of abandoning it in a different way, meaning saying screw it and decide just want to be inebriated through it, and then getting this epiphany, this awakening because the threats are back. All in one issue that came. That was a great setup. That's why, yes, Vanish issue number 2 is my number 1 pick, blue light special for 10/26/22. And that's it for me, Entropy. Thank you very much for watching, and you take care.